What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Feed Your Fat Face podcast. It is great to be back with you. I am your host, Aaron, along with my great friend, Kevin, and it is another week of remote, but this time, it's not because you're sick, Kevin. It is because I made a mistake. We promoted online earlier in the week that we were going to be on with Chris Butler, a craft beer expert, and we did an hour-long, incredible interview. I think one of our best ever. Would you agree with that?
I would, hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even really a difficult call.
No. And I was so excited about the episode, and then I got done, and I went to pull the file and to edit things. And I called you and told you that I had missed a step in the setup and there was no audio recorded. How gutted did I sound? I know how I felt. How did I sound when I called you?
You sound like someone big had hit you in the stomach.
Gosh, that's what it felt like, man. It was so bad. But the good news is we get to shoot the beer episode again, which means we get to try more beers. So that'll be, we'll have that for you next week. But this week we're going to pivot. That means we got to hang out twice, though, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that always works.
Yeah, and we were both in here last night, but you'll notice a different backdrop behind me. I am in our brand new studio this week, so we're finally moved in. We have a lot of work to do in here, like the stripes that you see behind me. That's all going to go away. We're going to paint, and we're still doing some stuff to make the sound even better. But it is, man, we're in, and that was the first step, and it's exciting. And I don't know about you, but it felt good last night.
Yeah, it really did. And I'm the other way. I think those stripes, if they were made into our Feed Your Fat Face colors, I think we leave them. But
well, who knows? The day
that's a new thing.
Right? You never know what's happening. That may be. I wouldn't let you do a colored grid pattern for the acoustical tiles. Maybe this can be my concession.
There you go. You can tell by my orange background, I don't mind loud.
Yeah, the problem is I produce other podcasts as well, and I'm not sure that they lend themselves to the stripes just as much as Feed Your Fat Face does. But we are in, and Kevin is getting notifications, and we are ready to roll. We thought since there was a change in the beer episode, look, there's Miss Reagan. Hi, Reagan. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Man, it's so good to see you. We're going to record an episode of Feed Your Fat Face. Is that exciting?
Oh. What is that?
Uh-huh.
Everybody,
this
is Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our
wow.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Did she say it hurts her ears?
Uh-huh.
You want to sit in the chair and watch?
Yeah.
Okay. What a sweetheart, man. Our littlest, I don't feel right. I feel like I'm going to fade heat if I call her our littlest fatty, but our littlest fan checking in today. So we thought we would pivot and we would talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is a huge food thing. In fact, I learned out this week, are you surprised or not surprised to find out that it is the second most popular food holiday behind only Thanksgiving? Does that surprise you?
Not really. I know. I think we're going to get into talking about, kind of what's Super Bowl party, what's not. Have you been to a bad Super Bowl party?
I guess define bad. I've been to Super Bowl parties that I think are bad.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you go to a Super Bowl party, there's certain expectations, food-wise, atmosphere-wise, that kind of thing. Have you ever been to one that, like, it wasn't snack food? It was like salad or
yeah, or just like one of those, I stopped at HEB because I forgot about this and here's a fruit tray kind of thing.
Yeah, something more along those lines.
Yeah, I would say though, for me, while food is important, and this is one place where you and I may differ, I don't know, but I want to watch the game. Like, I want there to be good food, I want there to be good snacks, but that's right. Like before kickoff. But once the game is in, bro, I want to watch football. Like, and so to me, that's what makes it more mad is when people invite me to a Super Bowl party and then they just want to like visit for 2 hours. I'm like, we could have done this another time. Like, you didn't need to bring me here on the sporting event of the year and distract me from it. That's not very kind of you. So are you a Super Bowl guy? Like, are you? I
have in years past, I've been much bigger on the Super Bowl itself. the only Super Bowl events that I go to now are more about like who am I going with, who else is going to be there, kind of thing.
I would guess well, I would say I guess, but what do you think? Like, do you think most of the population feels like I do, or that most of the population feels like you do?
I think mostly it's a social thing. I think it's more social than football.
I tend to believe that too. I agree with that. I get really irritated sometimes. I'm like, there was one game where I actually just asked some people there. I was like, hey, if y'all don't mind, would you go anywhere else to have that conversation right now? It was like fourth quarter and it was really clutch. And so I was not my friendliest.
I can, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see. It's not like watching. It's not, as far as I've noticed, it's not like watching baseball with you.
Well, but like casual, like in season baseball, I can take pretty easily. But dude, in the playoffs, my wife will ask me, so is there anybody you want to invite over for the World Series? I'm like, there is not actually anybody. I'll watch the World Series or playoffs. I'll watch with you or my brother, my dad, but I'm not really that interested in entertaining casuals for meaningful baseball.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And, casual fans just aren't a lot of fun watching a game that you're invested in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So what we've done is we've taken to the Powers family. We started hosting our own Super Bowl party, so we call it Ball Fest. And the idea with Ball Fest is that everybody brings a snack, and but your snack has to be in the shape of a ball. So everything is kind of like a sphere or a ball. But what we've done to mitigate all these problems is we've just set up zones. So there is one part of the house, like the main seating area is like, hey, this is football watching, but then we have upstairs, and we have the detached garage that has an office attached to it, and then an apartment upstairs, and so we have the game going in all of those spaces, and so you can sort of pick the atmosphere that fits for you, but that allows that way I feel like everybody kind of has something.
Yeah, because like I said, I think a lot of it is social, and so there's a lot of that, but there are the people that are attached or married to those people who are just, I'm betting on the game, or I'm invested in one of the teams or whatever, and they want the football side of it.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, like, I enjoy the social aspect of it too. I'm like, but let's be social before kickoff. Let's be social during commercial breaks. But yeah, I like when a team that I care for or the team that I'm pulling for is driving. I don't want to have a casual conversation about life and work and all of those things. So that's kind of where I come down.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying. You're watching a game with someone when you're invested in the team or the game or whatever, and they're not. They will always start a conversation during a critical part of the game.
The worst time.
And it's a conversation that it's well, my mom's sick or my whatever, and you feel like you have to pay attention to them, and you're also at the same time going, this isn't the time for this.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I found out do you have, if you had to pick two, I'm going to give you the top five, but if you had to pick, let's say I take chicken wings off the table, what would you guess are two of the top five most popular Super Bowl foods?
Are we talking like not just a bag of chips or?
Yeah.
Or are we talking like prepared foods?
Yes. Yep.
I'm going to go with pizza. Pizza's got to be number one or two, because more pizzas are ordered on Super Bowl Sunday than any other day, I believe.
Thanksgiving was number one. Super Bowl's number two.
For pizza?
Yeah, because people have their turkey lunch and then they deliver pizza. They have pizza that night.
Interesting.
I was shocked to learn that, but yeah. But pizza is a top five.
Okay. I would go pizza, and then I'd go something like, I don't know. I would think, I'm going to think that it's something like some kind of wrap, some kind of, little popper type thing.
Okay. You got it with poppers. I'll give you the top five, and I'll pause. You can give me your feedback. So coming in at number five, there's a list of 25, but I thought that's too long. Nobody cares that much. Number five, pigs in a blanket. How do you feel about pigs in a blanket?
Oh, I can go for pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, dude, I will crush pigs in a blanket. Would you prefer pigs in a blanket, or some people would do the little smokies and just like with toothpicks, like in barbecue sauce?
I think, yeah, I like the little smokies, and I like them with the more of a croissant or a breading around them more than I've seen some people that do them in like a puffy tortilla or something.
No. I would go pigs in a blanket, but like you, I want it in a croissant. Number 4 was jalapeno poppers.
Really?
To me, feels
Okay,
like that feels
that
like a
number 4.
yeah, it feels like a broad category though, because are we talking like bacon wrapped, cream cheese filled? Is it breaded and fried, or are we just kind of lumping it all together? Either way, I love jalapeno poppers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. And that's why I thought they would be higher than 4. I mean, I guess 4 is pretty stinking high. So
Yeah, but I guess I'm wondering how regional a jalapeno popper is. Maybe
okay.
like maybe the Southwest or the South in general is more inclined. I mean, I mean that if you live elsewhere in the world and I'm way wrong on that, I certainly am open to correction. But that's the only reason I could figure that it was number 4 and not higher.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Coming in at number 3 is pizza. We talked through that. Number 2, I was surprised but impressed. I'm actually really excited about this. Was loaded potato skins.
Okay, I'm very surprised. I did not think those were. I thought those were more regionally popular than widely.
For sure, I agree with you. But dude, like almost like a twice baked potato, but in like right with like bacon and cheddar and chives on it. Oh my gosh, so good, so good, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming in at number 1, I think it's obvious, is chicken wings.
Oh, by far. Yeah, by far.
Yeah, we're going to get into some numbers on that in a minute. We don't want to steal too much thunder, though, talking about the specifics of the chicken wing, because 2 weeks from now, we're bringing Carson back in, and we're going to talk chicken wings.
I saw there was another Buffalo Wild Wings lawsuit about somebody saying that their boneless wings are nothing but nuggets. And I'm like, who didn't know that?
Right, and I'm like,
Buffalo Wild Wings responded pretty great, though.
For me, I'm just like, adult chicken nuggets are awesome. Like,
yeah, they wrote back and they were like, just like our buffalo wings have 0% buffalo.
That's the right answer. That's the only right answer.
Yeah, our hamburgers have no ham and our buffalo wings have no buffalo.
Yeah. Well, they better watch out. They're going to get triple sued, and they just admitted fault. So they better be careful. Yeah, so that's hogwash. But yeah, so I look forward to talking wings because wings are one of my favorite foods. Here's some Super Bowl facts. So 1 in 7 Americans will order takeout Super Bowl Sunday. Will you?
If I don't go to a Super Bowl party, I am likely to order takeout. Yes.
Yeah, I will not, but a lot of that is just because of where I live.
It's not a super option for you.
Yeah, there's nobody delivering to my house. 8. So if you had to guess, so I just kind of gave away the number, but how much guacamole would you guess is consumed on Super Bowl Sunday?
8. You're gonna say like 80,000 pounds or something like that.
Say 8 million pounds of guacamole.
8 million pounds of guacamole.
Yeah, man. Most of it at my house, I think.
Yeah, at least 6.5 of that.
28 million pounds of chips, and I think that is across all chip disciplines.
It would have to be. That's so many chips.
That's so many chips, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, pounds of chips. Did I say that?
Yeah.
28 million pounds of chips. Okay, so this is kind of as a nod or an homage to the incomparable Chris Butler for next week's beer episode. How much beer would you guess gets consumed Super Bowl Sunday?
I think you're going to tell me something like there's like 330 million people in the country, so I'm going to say like 300 million beers.
There's 325 million gallons.
Gallons of beer. Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine? Like, oh, America, you have a problem.
That's almost a gallon of beer per person.
Right. And we're probably not letting our kids drink a gallon. So,
we're not supposed to.
Somebody's picking up the slack.
Oh, that's bad, huh?
That is, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I just changed Reagan's Super Bowl plans, didn't I?
A little bit.
Yeah, poor. She's gonna hate Uncle Aaron.
She's going to be mad. She's been practicing her keg stand.
Yeah. I guess I don't like in those big social settings. I don't like the thought of over drinking in a crowd that large. So I don't understand. I mean, I guess it makes sense though. Sports and beer that kind of go hand in hand.
Well, yeah, but I'm also I'm like I'm thinking that all the Super Bowl parties I've been to or whatever, a husband and wife show up together or whatever. Both people are not drinking their own gallon of beer.
I would hope not. In the Powers family, Brie is not. I wouldn't drink a gallon for sure.
A gallon of beer is a lot of beer.
It's a lot of beer. It's a lot of beer. A gallon of beer is a lot. That's a significant number of beers.
And so for every person that's 0 or 1 or 2 beers, somebody else is making up for that in that number. That's a huge number.
I'm having a count, right? So 12 ounces, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. So it's basically a 6-pack a person.
Oh my God, that's so much beer.
But it does make sense that antacid sales increase roughly 20% on the Monday following the Super Bowl. So
sure, I've heard it's also one of the biggest days. Like people just don't go to work.
Yeah. We're at 1.5 million Americans just phone it in.
Honestly, with 325 million gallons of beer being consumed, I'm surprised it's only 1.5.
Yeah, those two things are not mutually exclusive. Those two things work hand in hand.
That means a lot of people go to work hungover.
Yeah, so the number of chicken wings, 1.25 billion with a B, chicken wings will be consumed. That's flats and drumettes.
I can see that, though, because, again, if you go back to there's 350 million people or whatever, that's 3 wings a person.
But you're counting Kevin sizes because you're like, well, I'm good for probably 30 wings, so that's the average American. I would put the average American closer to 8, wouldn't you?
Okay, so it's 8, but if you 1.25 billion, that's 3 wings a person.
You're right. That math checks out. And we are allowed to give our kids wings.
Well, see then?
Yeah.
What are they going to wash it down with, though? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, root beer, Kevin. Root beer. Are you a root beer guy?
I am. I am.
Beer. Have you tried lately? You have because you've had it at my house. The HEB, they have a 0 sugar root beer that I find delicious.
It is very good.
Yeah. Yeah. You have any other football food facts that you want to throw out there?
No, did you see in your research? Is it a big grilling day?
Yes. Yeah. Well, not as big as you would think. What would you like? 10%.
Not like Memorial Day or 4th of July big.
10% of Americans. I got to believe that some of that is that the Super Bowl happens in February, and so there's places where it's so cold that you're not.
It's prohibitive.
Yeah, but I was shocked by that number, actually. We tend to, at least the outdoor griddle, we tend to use something.
Yeah, I can see that. That's what I would have figured that it would have been higher than 10%, but I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was
second biggest food holiday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, under second to only Thanksgiving.
Well,
I know. Even when I'm on a diet, dude, Super Bowl Sunday is a day where I'm just like, all bets are off.
It's a cheat day. Yeah, of course.
And I go hard. I go hard at the Super Bowl party, man. I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah, and but like I said, I've been to some parties where like everything is, they'll have like a salad, and then they'll have just everything's veggies or everything's fruit and veggies, and I'm just like, no.
I'm not interested in that, man. I don't even know why they keep putting celery and carrots in wings. Like, nobody's here for your celery and carrots, guy.
I think that's where you get so many people that do takeout. They're at bad Super Bowl parties.
Yeah, that would make sense. I had to pick something up on the way home to wash the crap out of
it. Or just call and you're like, hey, what's your address? And
they're calling, having stuff delivered to the Super Bowl party, not even waiting for the way home. I like it. Hey, you know what else is coming up this week? This is Valentine's week.
It is Valentine's week. That's thank you, Hallmark.
There's Reagan is making her reappearance. Is Valentine's Day a food holiday for you?
Not really. Brittany and I share a level of cynicism.
Oh yeah, the Powers house.
So we don't generally celebrate Valentine's Day, especially like as Valentine's Day. We also don't celebrate like wedding anniversaries because we're like, if we're celebrating, it's because we're surprised we made it to this anniversary.
My wife told me early on, she was like, hey, the best Valentine's gift you can give me is to not spend money on a trivial gift on a day that doesn't actually matter. And so I'm like, well, all wives say that, but they don't mean it. And so I bought her a gift, and she was like, I was not kidding. Do not, like, the best way you can show that you love me and that you get me is to not spend money today. Please, please, please.
Well, the Valentine's tax is a real deal. Everything's marked up so much. It's really a bad idea.
Yeah, and we can blame, the Cadbury. So we love the Cadbury brothers for their eggs. We can actually blame them for Valentine's malfeasance. It was their fault. 1861, they saw an opportunity to be opportunistic, and they began packaging their chocolates in a heart-shaped box. And so today, this year, the
Cadbury company started that.
They did. And so today, they estimate 36 million heart-shaped boxes of candy will get sold.
Oh my goodness.
That's insane. If we do celebrate, we will do something like if I'm home, if we're not, in this season of life that we've been in, there's always if it's Wednesday night, we're at church, or if it falls on a night, the last 4 years, Carson's got a game or something because it's baseball season. But at home, we would, it's not uncommon for us to say, hey, let's grill a steak and just kind of have a nice dinner at home, which I would prefer that over going out anyway, because the lines are. Do we sound like curmudgeons? Are we going to get feedback from that we're just like these grumpy old loveless men?
You know what? I think if we do get feedback like that, it's either going to be from guys who are too young to know better, or from I'm just going to go with guys who are too young to know better.
This is where we should have had our wives on to back up. Like, no, seriously, we've told them not to spend money and not to go over the top.
Yeah, it's fun. So things like buying my wife flowers or something.
Yep.
She is allergic to what plant shops use to keep the flowers fresh looking. So if I buy her flowers, she's like, "Oh, those are sweet. Put them outside."
So if she buys you flowers, she's like, "Why do you hate me?"
They immediately go outside.
So most men buy flowers as a way to be nice. You buy flowers when you're actually mad. You're like, I want to incite an allergic reaction. Here you go.
Yeah, I forgot.
I forgot, right? Yeah. Do you do anything for Ray for Valentine's Day?
She's 4 this year, so I am going to do something for Ray this year, because she's finally into that really interactive and understanding, and so I'm going to do something for her this year. Brittany's going to do something for her as well, so we're gonna make it a big deal for her, but that'll be it for us.
Yeah, that's about when I started, and I've always, even still today, I do something for both Abby and Carson. I usually, when they were little, I would buy them a little thing and then buy them some of whatever their favorite candy is. But now, over the last few years, what I try to do is because I think if I can go off on one little non-food tangent, I think that we trivialize love when we make it just about the emotion and what I feel, and so I try to affirm what I love about them. So this is what I see in you, what I've been impressed with over the last year. This is why I think you're incredible. And so I try to write them a kind of a letter, just like, hey, I believe in you and I'm your biggest fan. And here's why I say that. And then I pair that with their favorite candy. But yeah, we do that with the kids, but Bree, again, I would buy her candy if she wanted to. Y'all know, if those of you who know me know, I have no problem spending money. But Bree is like, please, please, please don't. And so I honor her that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And Brittany and I are both, on Bree's side on that. It's just it's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I failed in that because we had to pivot. I don't actually have any food news for us to go over this week. You already let us know about the frivolous. I guess I could check real quick. What if I just Google food news?
No. I want to talk about this thing we talked about last night. I told you about this restaurant in New York City. Now I'm drawing a blank on the name of it right now, but there's a restaurant in New York City. They don't hire chefs. They don't have a chef. They have hired a gaggle of grandmas, and a different grandma cooks every night, and the menu changes based on what that grandma cooks.
Dude, I'm so for that.
I think that sounds like the most amazing idea, because we've talked about how, the old ways are kind of going by the wayside as we lose that generation.
Yep.
And so I think this would be one of the places where you would get so much of that. I think it'd probably be the best restaurant in town.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how amazing that is or what the lines would be like at that place. But yeah, the thought of somebody's Nona in the kitchen, like rolling out fresh pasta and cooking for me, oh my gosh. That's one of the things growing up in the South. I think if you've not, like, one of the things I loved most about being a lifelong South Texas boy is I had these friends who would, either have grandma would live with them or we would go stay with their grandparents on the weekend. And they're in the Latino culture, it's abuela, right? She would wake up on Saturday mornings and she was hand making tortillas and making us tacos, and it was, I loved every minute of it. So to have that sort of on a broad scale. I did find a couple of food news items. One is an update on one that we did recently. We talked about Applebee's and the pushback they got on their date night passes selling out in seconds.
Sure.
So they have added 1,000 more date night passes after the date and switch debacle. And so
how long did that take to sell out?
Let's see. I don't think they've released them yet. They've just announced that they're gonna do it. Let's see what it says. They're going to roll out 52 date nights. The restaurant chains confirmed today that will be adding 1,000 more date night passes. Initial rollout wants to make up before Valentine's Day. So I would guess sometime in the next week or so.
Okay.
Here's one that you may want to pay attention to, and I mean this. This one, it's not even McDonald's related. How do you feel about Burger King?
No.
You don't like Burger King?
No.
So Burger King is paying $1 million to the fan who comes up with the best burger recipe. So there are 200,000 possible combinations based on their ingredient list. And so the fan who comes up with like the best and the most popular could win $1 million and have their burger permanently featured on the.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't actually enjoy Whataburger that much, but last year they had one called the
Burger King?
Burger King. What did I say?
Whataburger?
Yeah, Whataburger is better. My problem with Whataburger, it's cold by the time I get it home.
Yeah.
But Burger King, they had a crispy garlic burger that had like fried garlic pieces on it, and that burger was delicious. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of mid on Burger King.
I'm just not even half a step, an eighth of a step above McDonald's. I'm pass on both of them.
So Coca-Cola is dropping its first permanent flavor in years, in over 3 years, and it's coming to a store this month, and it is called Coca-Cola Spiced, but it is ironically not spicy. It is raspberry spiced. Refreshing notes from raspberry and spiced flavors. It is and calls it its boldest tasting brand innovation yet. Will you try it?
Probably not.
I'll try it. I'm not saying I'm going to commit, but
raspberry is not one of my favorite flavors, and so they still make cherry Coke and vanilla Coke. I'm probably going to go with that.
Oh, Kevin, this is the best thing to happen. I'm so glad I decided. So glad I decided to do double blind food news. You have a new favorite pizza restaurant, my friend.
Oh, do I?
You do, and believe it or not, it's Pizza Hut. Do you know what their Valentine's promotion is?
Oh my gosh, what is it?
Pizza Hut will end your relationship with a goodbye pie this Valentine's Day, and you can get it for free. What better way to say, I think we should see other people than with pizza? I'm going to read this. While some people may want to give that special someone a piece of their heart on Valentine's Day, there are those who can send their partners packing with a piece of pizza. Pizza Hut announced February 6th that it will sell goodbye pies this Valentine's Day to help disenchanted people break up with their romantic partners. The restaurant will send its hot honey pie to a person to help break the news that you're dumping them. The restaurant chain explained the promotion by citing Red Tuesday shorthand for the Tuesday before Valentine's Day, in which a person's other is most likely to call it off with his or her significant other. So the company is encouraging customers to send a hot honey pizza, which is ironic, given how cold a move this is. That's pretty brilliant.
That's funny, and that is pretty brilliant. That marketing intern deserves a raise.
Okay. I'm just going to say there is zero chance that high school Kevin wouldn't have availed himself of a breakup pie. You would have sent one. You know darn well you would have.
Yeah.
Your mom will comment. She'll affirm that I'm right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all that I've got from that. But I just read that headline and I was like, oh man, I'm so glad that we did this. So, well, dude, I'm sorry to take up your time 2 nights in a row, but thanks for jumping back on. Thanks for jumping back on.
No, my pleasure.
So next week we are going to sit back down with Chris, this time with
Chris
audio, and we will we'll have that conversation again. And then after that, we're going to have Carson in, and we're going to talk wings.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll get back into the rest of our season. We got a lot of exciting things. We hope to do more collaborations. We've got some new segments that we're going to be rolling out soon. We may even roll one out that week that Carson's there, our Feed Your Fat Face copycat. So we'll see how that goes. But why don't you tell the people what you wish they would do?
Hey, folks, first of all, thank you for tuning in. We love you, fatties. We love it. Still blown away that you do it. But keep your grills hot and your beer cold. And until next time.
We'll see you next week. Reagan, I love you, and I'll see you next week. And Kevin, same to you, big man. Be safe, and I'll see you next week.
We love you, brother.